Let's start with 17 states at last count joining in your lawsuit. That's got to be gratifying. And how's it going?
Yeah, I'm very encouraged by that, especially how quickly they've had to work together and put this together. It's really amazing, the efforts of these 17 states, and who knows, we may end up with more. So I really appreciate the support. Obviously, this is a pretty important issue for our entire country, and one that matters not just for now, but really for the rest of our history.
Well, the fraud is apparent in election after election in this country, particularly in the battleground states. And it's as if we're being asked to not believe our lying eyes in many instances here, whether it's the United States Attorney General saying there's no sufficient fraud to overturn the election, and therefore we're not going to bother to find out what's going on. We have the cases like Jesse Morgan, a truck driver who blows the whistle, and the next thing he's got postal inspectors, interrogating him. This is a mess. What will your lawsuit do to correct it?
Well, first of all, I should say in Texas, we were facing the exact same problem. We had all of these counties and judges telling us we had to do all this extra mail-in ballot, no signature verification. We fought for months and months and months. We had 12 lawsuits that we won, and we were able to stop that in Texas. Otherwise, we would have been Georgia, or we would have been Wisconsin. So our lawsuit focuses, we know that mail-in ballots are susceptible to fraud, that there's a lot of fraud associated with them. But we're focused right now on state law and the fact that these states, through various elected officials and local election officials, didn't follow state law, which is a violation of the Constitution. The Constitution says that state legislators are the ones who are responsible for setting up the laws as it relates to federal elections. And in this case, across these 6 states at least, or 4 states at least, they didn't do that.
They didn't do it. We just had Congressman Mike Kelly on, who's had the guts, he and Republican congressional candidate Sean Parnell, standing up, saying this, speaking specifically to Pennsylvania, is outrageous because it's unconstitutional on its face, and we just watched the Supreme Court deny an injunction. What is your, meanwhile, has not decided whether it will or will not hear the case itself. What is your sense of your odds of winning before the court?
So look, we want to just be heard first. Our only place to file, it's a state-on-state action. The only place we can go is U.S. Supreme Court. Most other cases can go to a district court and you will be heard. We are very hopeful that the Supreme Court will at least hear our arguments, and if they have that opportunity, we feel like we've got really strong arguments that are correct on the Constitution and that we should win.
Well, does the previous 2 decisions by the court, and by decisions I'm talking about their rulings yesterday against the temporary injunction that was sought, and before the election, the Chief Justice joining to create a 4-4 vote and send what could have been the solution back to the states to stop these egregiously corrupt mail-in ballot procedures in the battleground states, particularly the 4 that you mentioned, worst among them.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly discouraging, but at the same time, these are original actions. Those are dealing with injunctions. I'm very hopeful that the Supreme Court will hear our case and give us the opportunity to make the argument that I think is correct, that these states violated the Constitution, that they violated their own state laws, and therefore there's no way for these election results to be valid. They're just not.
And how soon do you think, are you hoping that you'll get a hearing?
I think that their response is due very soon. I think it was either tomorrow or the next day. And I would expect that we would be heard hopefully several days after that, before the December 14th deadline. Obviously, they can make changes to that too, but hopefully we'll get our hearing very quickly so that this issue can be resolved, not just for my state, really for the whole country.
Absolutely. Attorney General Ken Paxton of the great state of Texas. Great to see you, Ken. Thanks so much. Well, China Joe Biden is being hailed by the left-wing media as a China hawk, but we call him China Joe. His possible ambassador to China is anything but a hawk. We'll take that up next. We'll be talking with investigative journalist Sarah Carter, national security expert Jim Hansen about, the efforts to compromise our Congress, our mayors, our state legislatures. China has some really interesting strategies. We'll take that up with them here next. Stay with us. We'll be right back.